free.
Exactly so, sir. And that person is you.
Right. I suppose I better tell you what happened.
That would be helpful, sir.
Perhaps another drink would be helpful, too.
I'd love another drink, sir, but I think you'll find that the bottle is empty.
Quite right, Inspector. That, too, can be corrected. Do come with me, won't you? As you seem to know, Tyndall was having an affair with my wife. Now, I belong to that rare breed of men who genuinely don't mind losing gracefully to a gentleman who plays the game by the same rules. But to be worsted by a flash, crypto-Italian lover boy who mistakes my indifference for inadequacy is altogether too much.
You mean you couldn't bring yourself to accept the situation, sir? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, it was a situation I refused to accept, Inspector.
Playing the game is very important to you, is it, sir?
Playing the game and games playing, yes, Inspector.
Oh, I'm not quite sure I see the difference, sir.
Oh, it's perfectly simple, Inspector. Playing the game is what every gentleman does. Playing of particular games is my special passion. In a way, my whole life.
That sounds a bit sad to me, sir. Like a child not growing up.
What's so sad about a child playing, Inspector?
Oh, nothing, sir. If you're a child.
Oh, let me tell you, Inspector, I have played games of such complexity that Jung and Einstein would have been proud to have been asked to participate in them. I have achieved flights of the mind and flights of the psyche, unknown in ordinary human relationships, and I have had a very great deal of not altogether innocent fun.
Is there nothing you would not consider a game, sir? Duty, work, even marriage?
Oh, please, Inspector, don't include marriage. Sex! Sex is the game. Marriage the penalty. Round and round we jog towards each futile anniversary. Pass, go. Collect 200 rows, 200 silences, 200 scars in the deep places.
Are you saying, sir, that because of your indifference to your wife, you had no motive for murdering Mr. Tyndall?
I'm simply saying, Inspector, that in common with most men, I want to have my cookie and ignore it. It's rather witty, I thought.
And what have we here, sir?
Oh, it's just an old dressing-up basket, that's all.
A traditional place of concealment. I'm sure you'll agree.
Only of the identity, Inspector. In a game. Shall we go? Shall we go?
Oh, yes, sir. Coming.
Anyway, I thought I'd teach young Master Tyndall a lesson for his presumption. Test his mettle, as it were. You may not agree with this, Inspector, but you take it from me. The shortest way to a man's heart is through humiliation. You soon find out what he's made of.
Oh, and how did you plan to go about this humiliation, sir?
To begin with, by convincing him that as my wife had expensive tastes and he was virtually a pauper, he could solve that problem by stealing some valuable jewelry which I had in my safe. I further persuaded him to take off his clothes and wear a disguise. Appropriately enough, he chose, out of that basket you examined, the costume of a clown. In that ludicrous outfit, he broke into the house and blew open my safe. The jewels were in this box. Good thinking, Inspector. Bravo.
And where are they now, sir?
I put them in the bank yesterday.
On a Saturday?
Yes, Inspector, on a Saturday. I drove over to Salisbury and I put them in the night safe.
How very provident, sir. May I ask what you did after you blew the safe open, sir?
Tyndall pocketed the jewels. We struggled convincingly around the house as part of the game, and he was about to make off when I turned nasty and revealed the true purpose of the evening. This was, of course, that I had maneuvered him into a position where, by pretending to mistake him for a burglar, I could legitimately shoot him.
When you revealed your intention, sir, what was Mr. Tyndall's reaction?
Electrifying. He swallowed my story hook, line, and sinker. He fell to his knees, pleaded for his life. But I was implacable. I put the gun against his head and shot him with a blank cartridge.
You shot Mr. Tyndall with a blank cartridge, sir?
Fainted dead away. My game was over. It was the most gratifying win.
You actually put the gun to his head and pulled the trigger. As a game?
Call it his initiation test, if you like. He came here aping the gentry, hoping for acceptance, but he had to be taught. You don't join just like that. Such a thing as breeding. Quality that breeding brings. That cannot be acquired. Of course, he failed his test abysmally.
He may well have done, sir. But he also must have been put in fear of his life. Such irresponsible action warrants a serious charge of assault.
I suppose that's marginally better than the charge of murder you were contemplating a few minutes ago.
I still am contemplating it, sir.
Oh, come now, Inspector. I told you what happened. After a few minutes, he came to his senses, realized shrewdly that he wasn't dead after all, and after only a few too many brandies, lurched off home.
I'm sorry you appear to find this all quite so funny, Mr. Wyke. We may not take quite the same attitude.
No, look here! Why can't you see this from my point of view? In a sense, Tyndall was a burglar. He was stealing my wife, wasn't he?
Which justified your torturing and then murdering him, sir?
Of course not. Don't you see? It was a game. Just a bloody game.
Bloody indeed, sir.
I achieved what I set out to do, and that was all.
You may well have achieved murder, sir.
No.
I believe so, sir.
No, I've told you everything that happened.
Would you mind if I had a look around, sir?
Crawl about on all fours, if you like. Get out your envelope and imprison hares. Gather ye blunt instruments while you may. Now I ask myself, if I wanted to conceal Tyndall's body, where would I put it? In my good friend, Jolly Jack Tar the sailor.
Very amusing, sir. May I ask how you did that?
No. Jolly Jack and I have our little secret.
Then may I ask how you made those holes in the wall? That one over there, and this one over here. They look like bullet holes to me, sir.
Quite right, Inspector. So they are.
Oh, I understood you, sir, to say that you used a blank.
2 live bullets to set up the trick, and 1 blank to complete it. I had to persuade Tyndall I was in earnest.
Oh, I see, sir. 1 blank. Then would you just show me, please, sir, where Mr. Tyndall was when you killed him?
Pretended to kill him, you mean?
Quite so. Then would you show me exactly where he was when the bullet hit him?
I keep telling you it was not a real bullet.
So you do, sir. So you do. Very well, then. Where was he when the blank cartridge was fired?
He was standing, or I should say kneeling, or more accurately, cowering here.
About here, you say, sir?
2 steps down. That's it.
Were you close to Mr. Tyndall when you fired the gun?
Oh, very. I was standing over it, in fact, with the gun against his head. You see, it was the actual feel of the gun, coupled with the noise of the explosion, that did the trick. The traditional tool of your trade, Inspector?
Joke blood, sir?
Don't think I quite follow, Inspector.
Here, on the banisters and underneath the carpet. It's dried blood, sir.
Blood? Where?
Don't touch it. That's dried blood, all right. Some more over here. Someone's been rubbing the carpet. See that? Deep in the pile. That's blood, sir. It's still damp. Will you explain to me how that got there?
I've no idea. Tyndall wasn't wounded, hurt in any way. They must believe me.
With real bullets and real blood. Isn't it about time we stopped talking about games?
Look! Look at the window! There, you can see the pane of glass he cut out in order to break in, and down there, the imprint of the ladder in the flower bed, and the size 28 boots or whatever the hell it was he was wearing. Look, I can show you!
Over the years, my eyes have been adequately trained to see things for themselves, sir.
I'm sure they have, Inspector. I'm just trying to point out a few facts to substantiate my story. Like the blown safe I showed you in the study, and like the dressing up basket you found in the cellar.
You say that Mr. Tyndall disguised himself as a clown. I saw no such costume in that basket. Nor have you pointed out that mound of earth in the garden, have you, sir?
Mound of earth? What mound of earth?
That one over by the far wall, in the shade of that cedar tree.
I can't see anything.
Well, it's there, all right. I saw it before I rang your bell. I think we'd better go and have a look at it.